Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another 2024 election prediction. This one is between Nikki Haley and Joe Biden. I'm sorry if it might just look a little different. I don't know, like there might be blue around the edge, or maybe the microphone sounds a little different. I'm using something else to screen record. QuickTime Player has failed me. The default MacBook screen recording or audio recording, whatever it may be, thing. So anyway, enough with that. Let's get into this prediction. So Biden would be able to carry states like California and Washington solidly, Illinois, Hawaii, D.C., Maryland, his home state of Delaware, just because it is his home state, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont. But Nikki Haley's very popular. What we have to remember is this: Nikki Haley will unite the Republican Party. She will be seen as a less extremist version of Trump. We have to remember that, and a less far-right and less extremist version of Trump. And like DeSantis, like Christie, that's going to be very, very powerful. So she really will unite this coalition among independents who are unhappy with Biden but don't necessarily like Trump either. And, Trumpian Republicans and moderate Republicans. So that means states like Oregon, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine's first congressional district, one electoral vote there, are going to become likely. And then going to save states for Nikki Haley: Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska at large, Nebraska's first, Nebraska's third, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, West Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama. Nikki Haley's home state is the state of South Carolina, went to Trump by 11 points in 2020. So I do therefore think that she will be able to shift the state 5 points and turn it into the safe, and give it into the safe column. Now the thing is, Nikki Haley's base is going to be the South. She comes from the South, and she knows these people, and she knows these conservatives. She Southerners are going to pick the most conservative candidate, and that is Nikki Haley. Texas will definitely stay likely because Biden is unpopular, and sure, Texas is shifting blue, but with Biden unpopular, that doesn't matter. I think Florida becomes likely. She really will turn out Trumpian Republicans, and this is a state that's shifting right. And especially with Biden unpopular, this definitely will be likely. Georgia and North Carolina are two closer states that will be lean for Nikki Haley. No doubt in my mind, though. She will carry the big four: Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. If you really look at it, that's a huge chunk of electoral votes. Texas and Florida are 70 alone. That's more than California. That's like 16 more than California. So, and then Georgia and North Carolina, what is that? 32 more. So that is 102, if I'm doing my math correctly, electoral votes just from the South, just from the big four. Not even South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. We have a lot of electoral votes in the big four, in the big southern four: Texas, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Moving on, Nikki Haley will turn out suburban moms like crazy. She will do very well in the suburbs because of how well she will be able to turn out suburban moms, mostly because she is a woman. She's a woman from the state of South Carolina, suburban woman, and I think that she will connect with these suburban moms. I think she's going to win Iowa and Ohio not solidly, likely. I don't think she's going to see much trouble here, as Trump didn't have much trouble in 2016 and 2020. She'll turn out the suburban voters in Nebraska's 2nd district. That will probably be lean for Nikki Haley. And in Nebraska's 2nd district, a state that went by a wide margin to Trump in 2016, which was expected to go to Hillary Clinton. This is a district that shifted 18 points to Trump. Trump really had an appeal here, but I think that Nikki Haley, with her doing well in the suburbs, I think she's going to do just as well here. Going to Alaska, this will be a likely state for Nikki Haley. But going on to the state of New Hampshire, I think that this is going to be lean Haley. She will unite the suburbs. She will take the suburbs. And the most important thing is that she is a moderate, that she will be seen as more of a moderate Republican. New Hampshire is very much a moderate state. They are not far left or far right at all. They want a moderate candidate. And sure, Biden is pretty moderate. I mean, you can have your own opinions, of course, but really, with him being unpopular and a lot of people not liking him, people won't care if he's moderate in a state like New Hampshire. They're going to care if Nikki Haley is a moderate, and they're going to see her as a more moderate version of Trump. Moving on to Maine at large, that'll probably be lean Biden, but I think it'll be pretty close. But going down to New Mexico and Colorado, Colorado. I think that both of these states would be pretty close, but I think I'm going to give them to lean to Biden. Same with Minnesota. What we have to remember in these, and I'll make Minnesota tilt and explain why here. What we have to remember in these three states is that there is a Democratic base. Sure, they're purple states, but there's a strong Democratic base in all three of these states. There's a strong Democratic base in California, Washington, Oregon, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, etc. And every single state has a Democratic base. There always will be those people who will turn out for the Democratic nominee no matter what, and the same goes for the Republican nominee. And New Mexico, Colorado, and Minnesota are just three of these states where I do think that there's enough of a Democratic base for Biden to win here. But I mean, going to Arizona, Nevada, I don't think we're going to see much of a competition here. I think that Arizona would be likely because Nikki Haley has an appeal in the Sun Belt, also not only the Deep South, but really the southern region, the Sun Belt. Nevada's more of a Democratic state, but Nikki Haley, this is where she will turn out suburban moms. I really see it playing out in the state of Nevada, and I think that she will be able to win here. Going to the blue wall, I think that Nikki Haley will turn out white working class voters because what we have to remember is that Trump was able to, and she's only going to be seen as more of a moderate and more of an acceptable choice to these white working class voters. I really see Nikki Haley taking back the blue wall as the Republicans did in 2016. And I mean, I think that Wisconsin will be pretty close to becoming likely, not so much Michigan and Pennsylvania. I really see Nikki Haley doing very well in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm tempted. I'm going to make it likely. I think that she's going to win by more than 5% here. I really think she's going to turn out suburban moms in a state like Pennsylvania. I think that Nikki Haley really will excel in a state like Pennsylvania. You might disagree with me, but really, if Glenn Youngkin won all these parents, so will Nikki Haley. She's going to turn out suburban moms so much in a state like Virginia, because Virginia is a state with so many suburbs. And parents are the ones that you have to win the state. I'm going to give Virginia to Haley, mostly because they did elect a Republican governor because of the unpopularity of Biden. And that shows that they can elect a Republican to run the state. So it is possible for a presidential candidate to do the same. So Nikki Haley wins with 330 electoral votes to Biden's 208. Key wins in Arizona, Nevada, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, the Blue Wall, New Hampshire, and most importantly, Virginia as a major win. New Hampshire and Virginia, 2 major wins. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Join my Patreon in the link, my sister actually joined my Patreon, but that's it. So forget about the Patreon. But yeah.